Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Good day, whatever time it is for you. Good to see you. Good to be here, as always. We've got day 2 of Cultic. We'll be finishing up Cultic today. Again, shout out to our buddy Tinwin for that gift, and the game is really fun, man. It's a good time, and it's a recommendation from me. Yeah, if you're into old school retro kind of FPS style games, this is a great modern take on that. So highly recommend. We'll finish that up today. Maybe get a little bit of Shatterline in too. Keep testing out the new update for Shatterline, which we covered yesterday, and we got to try out a little bit too. They've got a whole Halloween kind of thing going on in Shatterline, which is kind of our FPS vibe right now. That's what we've been playing for a while. Yeah, that'll be the play for today after we do video gaming news. Let's get over here and let's go ahead and hop into this video gaming news segment. Cool? Let's go. Bam. Let's do it. Nice, nice, nice. Cool, let's see what we can find. We talked about free Prime gaming deals or games for November. We talked about that yesterday. Take a look. There are a few notable titles there, and we'll hit on it real quick just to remind everybody for Fallout New Vegas Ultimate Edition and Last Day of June are kind of the games that are headlining. There are a number of other titles, about I think 4 or 5 other titles you can get for free, but these are the big ones that you're going to be getting for free if you already have Amazon Prime, or if you can grab yourself like a month free trial of it, something like that. Then you get, that Prime Gaming, and hop on there and just get yourself some free titles, okay? Let's see. While we're on the topic of free games, let's just go ahead and talk about this real quick, okay? We have just over 1 day left to get your Epic, your free games off of the Epic store, okay? Most of us here are familiar, but just in case anybody is not, Epic is not wanting to come up for me. That's fun. Let's go. Um, every week, Epic gives away roughly 2 free games, right? You can see right here, main store page, you just scroll down just a little bit, it'll have the whole free game section, right? And right now it's Evoland Legendary Edition and Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition. Grab these titles. Grab these titles. And then starting tomorrow at roughly 4 hours after we usually start our stream, you can get Saturnalia and Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus for free as well, right? So you've got roughly 1 day left to grab these 2 titles before they go away and these become free, okay? So don't forget, grab your free games. We got a PS Plus leak revealing the free games for November. Cool. I think we kind of hit on this yesterday, but let's take a look at this. Age of Empires coming to consoles. Let's make sure there's nothing we missed there. All right. So report after Sony, Microsoft wants its own Genshin Impact. Let's see what that's about. Steam's new regional price guide makes games what? More expensive pretty much everywhere outside the US. God, dude, what? Why? We'll read up on that and find out why this is happening, okay? New video game is absolutely terrifying. Let's go. It's definitely not talking about Scorn. I can guarantee you that. It's not Scorn. Steam Halloween sale is live. Yes, it is. Let's take a look. It is time to get your spooky games if you're in the market for some. Across all platforms, virtually, there are sales going on for the spookiness. Turn on this helpful Overwatch 2 setting right now. Let's see what that's about. Let's go ahead and pivot over into our other search. We've already got that stuff up. Redfall's new Into the Night trailer. Cool. Let's take a look at that. What is this? Activision's Blizzard takeover. What? Let's read this. Activision's Blizzard takeover like a frog in a boiling pot of water. Ex Diablo 3 dev says merge had a big effect on business models. Yo! Super Donut, what's up, brother? How you doing, dude? How you been? So we'll read into that as well. Ooh, Amazon's Love Action series Fallout gets its first teaser, dude. All right, let's see that. Doing well? I'm good, brother. I'm good, man. This fall weather has got me just slowing down, dude. All that weight I've been packing on, dude, putting me into hibernation mode, you know? It's cooling down. The leaves are changing. I feel hibernation mode setting in, dude. Yeah, I'm trying to like stave it off, man. I wake up in the morning and instead of like rolling over and going back to sleep, I'm like, I gotta get up. I need to go stream, you know? I'm glad you're doing good, dude. Bayonetta 3 review. Game of the Year contender. Really? Let's take a quick peek at this. Um, okay. We already knew that Apex Legends was coming out with another map. We kind of talked about it. They're saying they're showcasing it here. Okay. They might have a video of it, so we'll take a quick peek, okay? I'm getting chilly. Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's been kind of weird. I mean, you know, for where I live, which is like North Midwest, it's been real up and down right now, Yo, random moat time already, by the way. Um, so it'll be like kind of chilly and cold-ish one day, and then the next day, dude, it'll be back up to like mid to high 70s, and we'll be like feeling like it's like sweating again, and it's just working its way, that transition from kind of like summer into fall, August weather and everything. But you can definitely see the change. It's getting rainy and the leaves are changing. It's beautiful right now. I love it. Nice, nice, buddy. This is my favorite time of the year. I love fall time, man. Gamer, what's up, brother? How are you, man? All right, let's stick with this. We'll stick with this for the news. Um, Amazon's Fallout series gets first teaser. Prime Video has shared the first official look at the upcoming Fallout TV series. Looks absolutely spot on. Amazon and Bethesda announced they would be teaming up to adapt Fallout back in 2020, revealing the post-apocalyptic video game franchise will be adapted for the small screen by Westworld creators Lisa Joy and Jonah Nolan. Bethesda boss Todd Howard. Bethesda boss Todd Howard is also attached as executive producer. Here, we'll watch the trailer for this. It's not going to work on this site, but to celebrate Fallout's 25th anniversary, Prime Video and Kilter Films have shared a spicy first look at the in-development show. Very little is known about the plot of Fallout at the moment. It's unclear whether the show will adapt the story of one of the games or cherry pick the best parts of each to tell an entirely new tale. However, given that Vault 33 doesn't exist in any of the games, I think we can probably assume the latter. Fallout doesn't have a release date just yet, but anyone hankering for a gritty adaptation of a popular post-apocalyptic video game will be delighted to learn that HBO's The Last of Us is on track to release next year. All right. Oh, trailer for excellent fan-made Fallout Miami. Wait, what? Hold on. Let me I pull this up somewhere. A single screenshot. That's it. No. No way, dude. That's it. These are old. All of this is old. Metro Last Night, you're digging it, gamer? Good, brother. That's awesome, man. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. I really am. Yeah, I mean, I need to play all of them. Like I said, I had the first two already, and with the sale that just happened, I went ahead and picked up the last one as well. And we need to get them played. We need to get them played here in the community. Maybe we'll play them next Scaretober. Maybe we'll play all three of them next Scaretober. I know they're not necessarily like horror vibes. Well, not that that's what we always get into for Scaretober, but I think they could be some cool games to play for Scaretober potentially. So I'll hold on to them until we find out exactly what our schedule is going to be for next Scaretober. You liked Exodus a lot, Super Donut? Yeah, dude. So I've had the first two Metro games for quite a while and haven't played them. Uh, oh, cool, gamer. Right on. Right on. Um, and then they just had a sale where they had the entire bundle on sale on Steam. So I picked up the last one, and I need to get them played. Yep. It doesn't look. I'm not seeing the actual. I think this is all it really is. It's just like a kind of a still image of the vault opening and everything. But we'll keep track. We'll see if we can find anything later on. You're seeing a lot of like set like images from the set and everything that look pretty good. So I think there's hope that the Fallout series could be decent, right? Um, that would be neat. And on the topic of Fallout, like we just talked about, dude, Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition is free on Epic Game Store for one more day right now. So if you want to hop into the Fallout universe, you've got a excellent opportunity right now to get into the Fallout games for free right now on PC. Go to the Epic Game Store, get Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition, which comes with all the DLC and stuff like that. Go get that for free on Epic. You got one day left to do that. And then Fallout New Vegas, the complete edition, is getting ready to be free on Prime Gaming if you have Amazon Prime. So there are a couple of different opportunities here. Both of these games are very highly rated. New Vegas is kind of considered the apex of the Fallout games currently. It was very, very highly rated. But Fallout 3 is not very far behind it either. It's a great game. So, if you're wanting to get a look and a feel for what those universes have to offer in a gameplay experience, now might be your time on PC to go grab those games for free and get a check at what they're all about, all right? Ooh, really? Really, gamer? Huh? Yeah. Um, I don't know. You can't ever be too careful anymore. I would say that, and I've talked about this in the past. I think any kind of community-based stuff that people are doing online, you should probably just get in the habit of trying to use some kind of VPN anytime you're doing community-based stuff on the internet. Especially any kind of transactions that have to do with purchases or bank account stuff, anything like that, just to protect yourself to the greatest extent possible. Trying to encrypt your connection. VPNs take you through different servers before they connect you to an endpoint, which means that if people are trying to trace your connection, not that it's impossible, but it makes it much, much harder because they end up getting IPs of servers before they're ever going to be able to get your IP of your actual home address and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's one of the things where I would. Well, yeah, I know. I just mean on PC and stuff. And look, there are ways to set up VPNs to for your home router and everything. So there are ways to set up a VPN to inherently just always be used on your router. That's a thing. Now, it's going to take a little bit of education on people's parts, but it would basically mean that anytime your router is connected to the internet, it's inherently using an encrypted connection anytime it goes out and does anything, right? So that would mean that even if you're using your PS5, while the VPN isn't necessarily running as software on your PlayStation, it would be running through an encrypted connection because it runs through your router, right? There are ways to get it done, okay? And I don't know. I haven't been on a PlayStation console for a while. I'm guessing there probably are. It's just going to take some education. Right on, brother. Right on. But just throwing that out there for people. You know what I mean? Bayonetta 3 review, Game of the Year material. With as much controversy as has been going on with this whole voice acting scenario, with the Bayonetta 3 stuff, let's see what a review of the game anyways. The wickedest witch in the East returns once more to Switch in a game that's as endlessly entertaining as it is completely crazy. The last few weeks seem to have exposed us as being overly cynical when it comes to video games. We were convinced that RE4 remake would be a disaster, and yet we've seen so far has been pitch perfect. Might not be unusual in these post-pandemic days, but the lack of hype for Bayonetta 3 and more importantly, developer Platinum Games' poor run of recent games had us fearing the worst there too. But Bayonetta 3 isn't the worst of anything. It's one of the best action games ever made. Now, take this with a grain of salt. This is from a single individual's review of this game, right? Previously, we would have said that Platinum were one of the best developers working today and one of our personal favorites after games like Vanquish, Metal Gear Rising, Nier Automata, and Bayonetta 2. Their recent output, though, has been considerably less illustrious, with duds such as Sol Cresta and incomprehensibly bad Babylon's Fall. This is a notably bad game. They were never entirely reliable as a studio, but ever since they started talking about self-publishing, the quality of their work has nosedived. Perhaps that's just a coincidence, or maybe the studio became a difficult place to work at for a time. You'd never guess from playing Bayonetta 3, which feels like a developer at the absolute top of their game. Although the quality has remained remarkably consistent, each Bayonetta game has had a different director, starting with Devil May Cry creator Hideki Kamiya on the first one, and this time going with little-known Yasuki Miyata. You never really guess, though, as while Bayonetta 3 is easier to get to grips with in terms of combat, there's a little more emphasis on larger open-world areas to explore. This is broadly the same style of game as the previous two. Storytelling is not one of Platinum's fortes, but apart from self-indulgent long cutscenes near the beginning and end, Bayonetta 3 is thankfully short on plot. All you need to know is that Bayonetta is an extremely powerful witch and martial artist, and there's someone trying to rewrite the multiverse that leads to her fighting lots of monsters and meeting with various alternative universe Bayonettas. The small subgenre to which Bayonetta and Devil May Cry belong has never had a universally accepted name, but it's essentially a beat-em-up with complex fighting game-style combat married to free movement and exploration. The dizzyingly long lists of moves can be off-putting, which is why this entry generally hides them away. You can get by perfectly well with just random punches and kicks. It's a button masher is what it is. Plus a ranged attack, or it can be. You can get away with button mashing is what it is. Plus a ranged attack and the special abilities of whatever weapon you're using. If you get good at learning combinations, your skill and your ability to get through the game with high amounts of damage will obviously escalate to a high degree, right? But you can button mash your way through this game and games like Devil May Cry. Keeping the combos as simple as just endlessly jabbing the punch button is perfectly fine, as the majority of the game's depth comes from how you manage crowds of monsters. Make use of your summoned demons And use enemy attacks to trigger witch time. Dodge just as someone's about to attack, and you'll slow down time for a few seconds, which is vital for most encounters. This is a long article, guys. That's cool. I'll read it. Bayonetta has always been able to summon demons for finishers and other special moves, but this time she can take direct control of them. Once summoned, they stick around for an extended period of time, as long as Bayonetta herself, who becomes rooted to the spot, does not take a hit. This seems to have been inspired by Platinum's work on their canceled Scalebound project for Xbox, and it works amazingly well at adding new life to the series as you essentially control gigantic demons by remote control. The variety of these demons, as with everything else, is staggering, from a Godzilla-like monster to a web-swinging spider and a bat that can split itself in two. They all have their own unique abilities and moves, even while the simple control system makes them surprisingly intuitive to command. Our immediate temptation is to talk incessantly about all the weird and wonderful demons, weapons, and monsters, but we really don't want to spoil them, as discovering them yourself is such a joy. The weapon diversity is much greater than before too, from guns to razor-sharp yo-yos, and a music stand that's not only a spear but can transform you into a frog woman that uses sound waves as a weapon. Sick! You can buy jewelry that imparts additional abilities, including a late-game one that allows monsters to control themselves. But extra moves are all obtained via a variety of skill trees for the characters, the weapons, and all demons. Although it's worth pointing out that on standard difficulty, these are all essentially optional extras, and apart from increasing your maximum health and magic, you don't need to worry about any of that if you don't want to. As admirable as this variety and accessibility is, it's the inventiveness of the set pieces and boss battles that are the game's... Dude, I'm going to butcher this. Is that... Piece de resistance? I butchered that. I'm sorry. Again, though it'd be a crime to spoil the best ones, but one of our favorites is preceded by the introduction of a robot dancing ancient Chinese Bayonetta riding a demonic train, which, believe it or not, is positively sane and normal compared to what happens when the actual boss fight begins. Many of the set pieces involve homages to other genres, including space shooters, racing games, on-the-rails shooters, and especially fantastic rhythm action boss battle. There's also a whole sub-game for Bayonetta's Paul Jean that plays out like a cross between elevator action and a 2D version of Metal Gear Solid. Except with an anime intro that parodies Cowboy Bebop. As well as Bayonetta and her many variants, you also occasionally get to control a second character called Viola. The young punk is implied to be a witch, but it's never really stated who she is until right at the end. She's not nearly as obnoxious as you might have feared from the trailers, and while she plays similarly to Bayonetta, the only weapon she can use is a sword. She can't engage witch time by dodging, but instead only by blocking. Accompanied by a hilariously brash rock soundtrack, Bayonetta 3 channels the soul of 90s arcade games and action movies in what is a life-affirmingly inventive, interactive experiment. It's great to see Platinum back their lunatic best, but the same would go for any game that can be this free and easy with logic and the laws of physics, sacrificing everything in the pursuit of a more entertaining game. When it comes to flaws, the only real problem is with the open world areas, which are not really much more than hubs, but can still take a long time to explore. Although it's not too uninteresting, this is nowhere near as exciting as the fighting, and there are relatively few extra enemy encounters along the way, which can lead to some pacing issues, particularly in the middle section of the game. This may be worse for those familiar with the previous games, though, which used to hide vital extras such as new weapons in the most peculiar of spots. That's not generally the case in Bayonetta 3, though, as almost all the rewards are just more health or magic upgrades. So those new to the series will have less fear of missing out if they get tired of exploration. From worrying that it would be the final nail in Platinum's coffin to wondering whether it might not be the best game of the year, we haven't decided yet. Bayonetta 3 is literally a revelation. It's huge as well. At least 20 hours long on a first go, and with a lengthy endgame and lots to uncover that you'll have missed the first time around. Bayonetta 3 is not just one of the best games of 2022, it's one of the best action games of all time, just like its forebears. That's going to be debatable, depending on who you are. As endlessly surprising as it is entertaining, this is a title to hold up as a shining example of everything that is unique and wonderful about video games, but especially if you've become exhausted with so many games dedicated only to realism and seriousness. Bayonetta 3 offers the opposite, pure, unadulterated fun, and it is marvelous. They rated it a 9 out of 10, so that's good. We'll see what else, what other kind of reviews come out, what people are saying about it. But this is a good first review we've seen about it, anyways. With so much controversy surrounding the game right now with the voice acting stuff, you know. I don't know. I've always heard good things about the Bayonetta series. I have not tried them myself, but unfortunately, it seems like we're getting another developer that might be stuck in this mode that we see with so many other developers. Take, for instance, somebody like Ubisoft, who we've talked a lot about here recently, and it seems like they have such a tough time coming out with anything other than games like Assassin's Creed and like Far Cry. It just seems like they can't really come out with anything different. And then you take a look at somebody like Platinum Games, right? And it's like, okay, they had good games in the past, right? They had some good games in the past, and obviously Bayonetta as well. And then as of recent, their titles had gone downhill until they got back to what they knew they could be good at, right? Which is their longest running franchise or IP in Bayonetta. And I think it's a bit concerning for me with these studios, and not that every studio is dealing with this, but it seems like a lot of these studios get stuck in a rut where they just are really not very good at developing new titles, developing new content. They are only really good at taking these titles that they've played previously, or they've made previously, and building off of that to move forward. Ubisoft, man, we're talking 17 Assassin's Creed titles in 15 years. Main titles. That's not talking about spin-offs. You know, and it's like, good night. Not that Platinum's in this spot necessarily, but it almost seems like they're moving that way, you know. I don't know what the reasoning is behind this, where these developers have such an issue coming up with decent titles outside of their stuff they've done in the past. It's weird. I'm not sure. Just something I'm starting to see become more prominent with some of these developers that have been around for a while. So, but good news for Bayonetta fans. It sounds like Bayonetta 3 is a good game. And there's some new stuff in it that is appealing, apparently. And, you know, hopefully people are enjoying it. That's what we want. We want good games, right? At the end of the day, that's really what matters. Apex Legends showcases Broken Moon map ahead of Season 15 launch. Players can traverse the fractured moon via zip rails. Ahead of the November 1st launch of Apex Legends 15th season, developer Respawn Entertainment has given players a quick look at the game's new map, Broken Moon. Apex Legends' 5th map takes players to Cleo, a moon that was fractured after a catastrophic meteor strike. To fund the colonization of the partially terraformed moon, the government has entered into a contract with the Syndicate to host the Apex games there. The moon was last seen in the latest stories from the Outlands video, in which Respawn unveiled the game's first transgender legend, Catalyst, who comes from Cleo. Broken Moon, which promises to be of a similar size to the World's Edge map, is half colonized, with one side of the map barren, while the other half is colonized and rich with vegetation. The terraformer itself can be found in the center of the map, providing a King of the Hill drop location filled with loot, where up to 4 teams can find comfortable landing spots. Players can traverse the new map by making use of a number of zip rails, which have been set up to transport players between various points of interest. Respawn notes that the zip rails offer the same functionality as the game's existing zip lines, but provide increased speed and momentum. Let's take a look. It's pretty. Bro, they got like, it's like Sonic the Hedgehog, dude. They got Sonic rails everywhere. Alright, cool. Plenty of points of interest to zip between two, with the map focusing on large structures that provide landing spots for multiple squads, offering players time to loot before the shooting begins. And of course, should things get hairy, safety is just a quick zip rail away. A full breakdown of what to expect in the new map, as well as more information on the points of interest, can be found via a blog post from principal level designer Randolph Stayer. Okay, cool. Oh, wow. Yo, check this out. In other gaming news, servers for the 2012 version of Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition will not be reinstated on PC due to an aging system. From Software is not bringing Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition back online on PC. If you don't recall, before Elden Ring released this year, there was a big to-do about a huge vulnerability that came up regarding the online capabilities of basically all the Dark Souls games for mainly PC too. And they had to shut it all down. And they were talking about forever about they were working on it, they were getting it fixed, and it would be up before long, and it was taking months and months. And now apparently Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition is done. Online capabilities for Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition is finished. They're not even going to figure it out. They're just done with it. Syke, what's up, brother? That's interesting. Hmm. I mean, we are talking about a 10-year-old game at this point, right? Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm good, dude. I'm good. Thanks. Just trying to deal with the The fall time slog, dude. Just being, you know, tired. Just want to hibernate, bro. But I'm good, dude. Sorry you've been dealing with migraines, dude. I had like about 3 or 4 days in a row there where I had a headache. I just couldn't shake it, man. It was brutal. It wasn't migraine status, but it was just nonstop, man. It sucked. That's interesting. Again, I mean, it's kind of inevitable that at some points games are going to lose that online functionality, especially if a player base dwindles to a minimal count. But Soulsborne games are notorious for maintaining a pretty decent player base, and I don't know what Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition on PC was still maintaining for a player base online or anything, but I'm sure there's an amount of people that are not super thrilled about that. Yeah, dude. No doubt. A new video game is absolutely terrifying. A new body cam horror game by a two-man development team showcases powerful... Yo, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Showcases powerful, hyper-realistic environments. Paranormal Tales is an upcoming body cam horror game here, where you take control of an unknown protagonist as they search the woods for their dog. It's spooky season, and while there has been no shortage of announcements in the horror game genre, this newest one is possibly the spookiest. Paranormal Tales is an upcoming indie horror game. We love our indie games. Indie horror game that uses found footage from a body cam to tell its story. Released its first teaser trailer. The game, created by a two-man team named Horror Cam Committee and published by features what is quite possibly the most realistic-looking graphics in a horror game. Paranormal Tales is being developed from the ground up in UE5. I was wondering if it was that realistic looking. Unreal Engine 5, right? The latest version of the popular video game. The latest version of the popular game development engine. And one of the selling points on the Steam page is hyper-realistic environments. When watching the trailer, it can be difficult at certain points to determine if the trailer was using in-game footage or actual footage. The only tells noticeable were the camera movements and some very hard-to-notice object artifacts. The game does feature some similarities to PT, a now unplayable horror game from Konami and Hideo Kojima. And not just in acronym, PT featured very claustrophobic first-person camera movement and supernatural beings. The attention to detail is crafting a horror environment in the Paranormal Tales teaser is incredible. Paranormal Tales is estimated to launch in November of next year and has only been confirmed for Steam. You can wishlist it now to show support. Self-funded indie projects often have a hard time getting off the ground, so a wishlist is a good way to support the developers, yes. Let's take a look at this. Paranormal Tales.
Teddy! Come here, boy! Oh, what has got into him? Teddy! Teddy,
bro, this is something for VR, no doubt about it.
Teddy, for fuck's sake.
Oh, that sounds amazing, Psych. Bro! Nope. Nope! Oh, God, dude. Oh, my God, bro. Oh. Nope. What's that, dude? What? Hold on. Hold on. Related? Okay, hold on. Hold on. No, quit. Let's see this, dude. Yo, Gabs, what's up? Oh, not really related. Okay, hold on. Let me see this. dude, oh man, is booking it. Oh, bro, that's funny, dude. Yeah, that old man was booking it, man. Oh, that's funny. It's like, come back! Oh, bro. I'll have to watch it. I'll have to watch it. Thanks, dude. So this looks pretty wild. I'll actually hold on. I'll pull this up on Steam again. Really, this looks really good. I wonder if they're gonna have VR support for this, dude. You know what really sucks? Know what really sucks? Look what they're comparing this to. Is this game relevant to you? Similar to games you've played. Scorn was very underwhelmed. Little Nightmares 2, I almost flushed this game. These are the two games it's comparing it to. Oh no, dude. I hope not. This looks pretty awesome though. It looks pretty good. Here, I'll share it with you guys. There's a That's the game on Steam. If you guys want to go wishlist it, help out the devs. Again, indie developer. It looks pretty wild. This could be a game if they incorporate VR because this is like a first person experience, dude. This could be terrifying. Holy crap! It looks like it already might be pretty terrifying, but we'll see. All right, go. Let's party at Gabs. Let's go. Yeah, I'm down. Let's go. Let's go jam out. We'll get all this going. Let's go. We're doing that. Wait, what? Oh, that's weird. Why is that being weird? Hold on, dude. Odd. Okay. Yeah, party at Gabs. Let's go. I'm down. Snacking, dude. I like snacking. This looks really neat. So next year, they're talking November of next year for this to release. And again, if you need the name, Paranormal Tales. Links there in chat for you guys, okay? The Steam Halloween sale is live as well, guys, okay? Steam Screamfest 2022 features discounts and events on creepy, spooky, and scary games. It is here. Halloween is still a week away, but the sweet treats are here already on Steam, at least, where the Steam Screamfest is now underway. Look, basically every single platform is doing some kind of sale for an amount of some spooky-ish kind of games at this point. Epic's doing it. Steam's doing it. I think that basically I think Switch even has some going on. I'm guessing PlayStation and Xbox do too. Go take a look. If you're in the mood for some spooky games, it is the time to get them. Predictably, Steam's big Halloween extravaganza is focused on the spooky and the scary. Horror, survival horror, dark fantasy, Lovecraftian tales, and other forms of supernatural shenanigans. A number of games holding seasonal events will also be spotlighted during the sale. A few examples to get you started. Thamisia, GTFO, Devour, Darkwood. Darkwood was just free on Epic Games, by the way. Phasmophobia, The Forest, V Rising, Gloomwood, Ghost Exile, Lunch Lady, Darkest Dungeon, the Mortuary Assistant, Little Nightmares, Chernobylite, Outlast, which we're going to start playing tomorrow. In Silence, Cursed Golf, Hunt Showdown, Dead by Daylight, Endoparasitic, Pathologic, Carrion, Conscript. Demo only at the moment for that last one. If you prefer your Halloween horror with a little bit of softer edge, there's also a silly category you can dive into featuring games like Cult of the Lamb, which was amazing outside of some pretty not good bugs. And the fact that it seemed very soft difficulty-wise, even on the hardest difficulty. But other than that, it was a fun play. Monster Prom 2, Monster Camp, Plants vs. Zombies, and Ghostbusters Remastered. That's more than a few recommendations, yes, but in my defense, there's a lot of good stuff going on in the sale. It's easy to get carried away. They really could have, they should have said carried away. You know what I mean? It would have been a great play on words. There are also new profile backgrounds, avatar stickers, and other such digital items available in the Steam Point shop. A number of demos for current and upcoming games are also available during the event. One game that's doing something a little different on that front is the survival horror shooter You Will Die Here Tonight, which is running 6 different demos over the course of the event, each of them building on the events of the last. You Will Die Here Tonight. What is that? Yeah, maybe, dude. Maybe that's what it is. We just go Scaretober all the way till next Scaretober. It's just an extended. It's a year-long Scaretober. Oh, get wrecked. This looks wild. It's, interesting. Oh, you Clue board game? Yeah, kinda. It also reminds me of old Resident Evil games. If you're interested, here it is. But yeah, absolutely, dude. We've been playing a lot of Clue here in the house. We've been playing a lot of Clue, actually. That's funny, dude. So there you go. And if you need something for... Here, we'll just watch this real quick.
Oh my god! Sorry, a little jumpy. Just looking through some of the amazing spooky games that we're about to feature in Steam Scream. Steam Scream is our Halloween fest running from October 25th through November 1st. We're celebrating the scariest season of the year with discounts, demos, and spooky in-game events. Now, granted, one person's spooky could be another person's walk in the park, so here's the full range of what you'll find during Steam Scream. Horror! Survival horror! Vampires!
Thanks, Gabs.
Supernatural!
Yeah.
Dark fantasy! Lovecraftian! And so much more. From spooky games and in-game events to demos on
You gotta be
current
careful,
and
man.
upcoming
Those
games.
employees, man.
Brace yourself for scares and treat yourself
Looking at
to
all
discounts and more with Steam
those
Scream,
corn
October
websites,
25th
you
through
know.
November 1st.
We're gonna have a corn emote. Oh my glob, dude. What was that? Well played, Psych. Well played, dude. So there you go. If you need more, here's the article. But you know, lots of platforms running Halloween sales. Pornography. That's what we should name it for sure. Turn on this helpful Overwatch 2 setting right now. This deeply unpleasant alert has saved my life more than I'd like to admit. If you've ever been deep into an Overwatch fight, completely unaware that half of your team died 15 seconds ago, I implore you to turn on a setting new to Overwatch 2. It's a distinct sound that plays when a teammate dies, and having it on has already saved my bacon more than once. The sound itself is a familiar one for Overwatch veterans, a blaring, brief emergency siren that effectively communicates, "Oh God, back up, oh God." The alarm has been used in Overwatch for years to signify the death of teammates, but only in limited time PvE events. Now it can be used in PvP, though it's off by default and easy to miss in the settings menu. Blizzard has appropriately named the setting "Place Down When Teammate Eliminated." Find it at the very bottom of this first page of audio settings. See it right here, sounds. Sound, general, down at sounds, the very last one. Once it's on, you can basically, hey, stop. Once it's on, you can basically stop worrying about the kill feed forever. It's been revelatory to unshackle from a small text feed that I frequently overlook and let the sound do the talking. I'm amazed at how quickly death alarms have improved my reactivity. Now possible to stay focused completely on my aim or the person I'm healing. Still instantly understand when teammates have died and we should fall back. Word of the handy. New warning has slowly spread among friends and peers. Now everyone who's anyone is pro-death alert. Turns out the old way was slow and bad the whole time. This abrasive, unpleasant noise is pretty sweet. Might be wondering about the similar setting above the teammate death alarm, play sound when enemy eliminated. That one does what it says on the tin, but honestly, I can barely even hear it. It's a unique sound. It's either too quiet or my brain decides to drown it out. That's fine by me. I'm more concerned with teammate notifications anyways, and I reckon it's already pretty obvious when we've wiped the floor with the competition and there's nobody left to shoot. So there you go, guys. Some in-game sound notifications that can be apparently pretty helpful in these PvP matches for Overwatch. If you did not already know that this has been made an option within Overwatch 2 that you did not have necessarily in Overwatch 1. All right. All right. Redfall's new Into the Night trailer highlights its creepiest bloodsuckers in-game with a horror twist. Arcane has released a new Into the Night trailer for their multiplayer open-world FPS title Redfall, and it highlights quite the collection of the game's creepiest bloodsuckers with a horror twist. These vampires are examples of some enemies players will encounter when it releases in 2023. The trailer is really bloody, enough to get the video age-restricted. Arcane Austin posted it in the hopes players get into the Halloween spirit and, of course, show off their vampires. Bloodsuckers revealed range from the devious angler to the ever-vigilant watcher, each juiced up with powers you and your squad will have to overcome to defeat them. The biggest takeaway from the video is that Redfall has a knack for displaying eerie locations and playing around with the lighting. At so many points, whether because of the production behind the video or the actual in-game environments, the Redfall Island nails the depraved aesthetic Arcane intended for the setting. Probably will deliver further during gameplay. Either way, fans can expect Redfall to release sometime in 2023, so anything about it can change before it launches. Okay. Let's watch this. Okay, yeah, Gabs, for sure. Be aware that apparently the video is bloody enough to be age restricted. Okay, so likely mature 17 is what it says. Likely. Because of gore. Let's take a look, though. Sorry. Start that over and get all the nice audio there. Apologies. That is a lot of blood, dude.
it's red. It's on me!
Yeah.
Play it day one with Game Pass.
Day one with Game Pass. You know who doesn't do day one with their subscription service?
Elijah.
PlayStation. I'm sorry, I can't get over it. You talking about like Evil Within? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. I think this is what we've discussed this a lot for a lot of what we've seen with Redfall, even like especially when the game was announced and they or not even announced, but I think a lot of people have just not really been thrilled with what the game looks like so far. Overall, I just don't think there's a lot of hype around it for what people are being shown so far, really. I mean, it looks okay, but I don't think it looks like anything like spectacular, you know? And I know you were just getting at the fact that it looks similar to stuff we played before. And I mean, anytime you get into the realm of and I think I might recall exactly like the house you're talking about, dude. I think so. I think anytime you get into the realm of horror games, especially when you're talking like first person to third person games, there tends to be an amount of similarities there from game to game, or you can find similarities anyways. But we've talked about this game a little bit in the past from what was kind of brought up and showcased in the middle of this year, like all the summer showcases that happened in June, and everything we've seen since. It's just kind of like, okay, I don't know. I'm not seeing anything that makes me just go wow. Like I really can't wait to see what this game's about. I just don't. I don't know. I don't see it, and I'm kind of getting that impression from other people too. It could be great. It could be great. You know, who knows? It could be awesome. We'll see. We'll see. Um, this is going to be an interesting little take here. Activision's Blizzard takeover like a frog in a boiling pot of water, ex-Diablo 3 dev says. Merge had a big effect on business models. Activision's takeover of Blizzard was like a frog in a boiling pot of water, Diablo 3's former lead designer has said. Jay Wilson, who no longer works for Blizzard, spoke at a Diablo retrospective panel discussion at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo on 15 October, alongside producer Matt Householder and sound designer Matt Ullman. An audience member asked Wilson about the impact of Activision's 2008 Blizzard buyout. Quote, Activision's effect on Blizzard was like a frog in a boiling pot of water. Early on, it felt like nothing, said Wilson. Later on, as business models progressed for products, it became more and more. The products that were newer, the products that were making money, had enormous amounts of pressure on them. Those newer products included the embattled MOBA Heroes of the Storm. They were just crushed in meetings with Activision where they were always talking about the bottom line, how to pull more out of that. Is that surprising? Diablo 3 wasn't affected too much because we were very solidly a premium box model, said Wilson. Diablo Immortal, the free-to-play mobile game released in June this year, was much discussed internally before Wilson left in 2016. They were talking about Immortal because it hadn't actually started. That was all Activision Blizzard. They wanted a free-to-play Diablo really badly, and I didn't. Now, granted, by then I was off Diablo, he said. After its release, Diablo Immortal was criticized for its monetization, as it should have been, with some players paying extortionate amounts in-game. Activision had a big effect on all those business models, and in my opinion, a lot of the higher-up people who left did because they got frustrated with all of that. I don't think they made those products better, said Wilson. Absolutely not. He continued, there's a lot of bad things about Blizzard. There's a lot of great things. But I think the best thing, when I was there, Blizzard had this saying, we always want to be the guys in the white hats, which means we always want to be the good guys. So we always want to be doing something we think is right for our players. Well, that didn't hold true, did it? Bloomberg journalist Jason Schreier reported last year on Blizzard's Warcraft 3 Reforged flopping when it launched in 2020 as the result of mismanagement and financial pressures from Activision, which Wilson's comments align with. Activision Blizzard merged back in 2008 to become, at the time, the world's largest video game publisher. Then, in 2013, it split from owner Vivendi to go independent. Of course, last year, Activision Blizzard was criticized for its workplace culture, with a number of sexual harassment lawsuits filed, the most recent being earlier this month. Microsoft is currently trying to buy out Activision Blizzard. Its president, Brad Smith, said earlier this year that workplace culture and safety will be a top priority. You know, my thought here is like, if this was the big, when this individual was at Blizzard, the saying was, we always want to be the guys in the white hats, right? So it's interesting to me that, like, and obviously business is business, right? But if that was supposed to be such an integral part of what Blizzard was, how much of a hard look was taken at how much the Activision buyout or merger, whatever you want to call it, was going to change that, because it did. And ultimately, definitively for the worse. And you can't necessarily predict the future or anything, but if this is the company that they wanted to be, and there was any kind of reservations about having, merging with another company and not being able to maintain that mindset, it just seems like money overtook the concern there, unfortunately. And this is what happens, right? I mean, you see it. People that seems like they actually did care about creating good quality content, not being focused entirely on monetization or greed, they leave. It ends up pushing them out, and we're seeing, notably in the news right now, was it EAU or EVUM? Is that the Disco Elysium dev? We're seeing this entire controversy right now with the lead designers and developers out of Disco Elysium being fired because they didn't want to be on board with what that developer was trying to do with their passion project in Disco Elysium, and they're sticking to their guns, and now they've got an entire kind of lawsuit going on between themselves and that developer on losing their jobs. They got fired over it, and it's a weird situation. So I don't know. Interesting. PlayStation Plus leak reveals free games for November. PS Plus subscribers may already know what free games they're getting in November thanks to a reputable leak which named 3 games supposedly going to be available next month. Those 3 games are Neo 2, nice, Lego Harry Potter Collection, and Heavenly Bodies. All right. PlayStation hasn't yet officially revealed which games will be available next month, but we should know soon with the games set to be available shortly afterwards. Till the latter happens, subscribers can still download October's free games for the next couple of days. Deal Lab says that Neo 2 and Heavenly Bodies will be available on in their PS4 as well as PS5 versions, while Lego Harry Potter Collection's PS4 version will be the one to download. Okay. Neo 2, definitely the headliner, yeah. For those who haven't yet got this month's free games, you've got until the end of October, right? To download Hot Wheels Unleashed, Injustice 2, and Super Hot while they're still available, okay? Age of Empires is coming to console. Yep, this is what we kind of talked about yesterday, but if you're not aware, after more than 2 decades since its initial release to PC, Age of Empires 2 is getting an Xbox re-release alongside Age of Empires 4. Franchise is coming to Xbox consoles very early next year. Specifically, Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition will release for Xbox on January 31st of next year, while Age of Empires 4 will release on an unspecified date later next year. While it was not mentioned what consoles the games will be available on, both will release on Microsoft Store, Xbox Game Pass, and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. All right. Both games will include optional cross-play between platforms, which will allow players to play with others on both Xbox and PC. Lastly, the game will support Xbox Cloud Gaming Beta, which will allow players to continue playing while away from their PCs or consoles. All right. If you need more on that front, because I didn't read the entire thing, I got the main points out. It's there in chat, okay? After Sony, Microsoft wants its own Genshin Impact now. Seems Microsoft regrets failing to acquire Hoyoverse's hit RPG. Yeah. Genshin is very well done and very popular, right? I was today years old when I found out that Microsoft tried to turn Genshin Impact into an Xbox console exclusive. I did not know that either. According to sources, its failure to do so is one of the big reasons why the publisher is trying to sign deals with Chinese gaming studios. According to Reuters, Microsoft was in the talks with Genshin developer Hoyoverse while the game was still early in its development cycle. However, the two companies failed to reach a deal. When the game finally launched in September 2020, it was available on PC, mobile, and PlayStation, but not Xbox. As of May, the game has made an estimated $3 billion in microtransactions on mobile. So it's safe to say that it's also made significant amounts of money on PlayStation. Microsoft regretted missing out on Genshin, said one of Reuters' sources. The game's success on PlayStation has added a sense of urgency for Microsoft to acquire Chinese games. Microsoft missed the Genshin money train, so it's trying to sign other large and independent studios in China while they don't have publishers yet. Part of the appeal is that many Chinese studios have the expertise for implementing multiplayer and cross-platform play. These games would be a large boon to publishers that are looking to entice more players to their subscription programs, which allow people to play games for free at a flat monthly price, often across PC, Xbox, and sometimes cloud gaming. Didn't think that being able to play a game on my phone, PC, and console would be a big deal, but it's slowly driven me to spend more hours in Genshin than I otherwise would have. It is a big deal. Having this multi-platform kind of functionality, because look, especially in the East, mobile gaming is significant, right? It's big. And it's moving into a more accepted form of gaming in the West as well. And having a very well-developed game that you can play on your mobile device as well as a console or a PC whenever you need to or want to is a pretty big play. PlayStation had been playing catch-up to Xbox's live service capabilities for years, and Hoyo vs. RPG was a huge boon to its portfolio. In Sony's May financial report, PlayStation listed Genshin alongside Fortnite, Call of Duty, Warzone, and Apex Legends as key titles driving PS Store spending. So not only is Genshin making a mind-boggling amount of money in general, its console exclusivity is one of the key titles that drives PlayStation's success. The major console makers are locked in an arms race for these games, but Chinese studios aren't just passively taking whatever they're offered. One company that previously signed a deal with Game Pass is reportedly holding off on another exclusivity contract while its game is still in development. Quote, "We are not signing it yet because we think that when we fully complete our game, it will get an even better offer," a representative told Reuters. Yeah. Genshin is, if you're not aware, it is a gacha game. But it is a very, very, very well developed, open world gacha game. And that alongside its multi-platform cross functionality of, being able to play on mobile or, multiple consoles. It's supposed to be coming to Switch as well, which has been announced for a long time. It's just still not there yet. And PC. It's brought in a huge player base, and it's very lucrative for that reason. This is the last one I have for today. Last article I have for today. Anyways, before we move on to day 2 of Cultic Extreme Difficulty. Oh, what a stretch! Woo! Sorry. If you guys have anything else, let me know in chat. We'll talk about it before we move on, okay? Steam's new regional price guides make games more expensive pretty much everywhere outside the US. Valve has updated its regional pricing tool, and a new set of pricing recommendations would make games more expensive pretty much everywhere outside the US. Steam sells games in 39 different worldwide currencies, and Valve offers a regional pricing recommendation tool which automatically suggests prices for various regions based on a developer's chosen base USD price. Developers do not have to take Valve's recommendations and are ultimately responsible for their own pricing choices. But Steam's pricing tool makes it extremely convenient for devs to just accept a quick conversion for dozens of currencies that might not otherwise be familiar with. It's been quite some time since Valve last changed its regional pricing suggestions, though. In a recent developer-focused documentation update, the company said it was making a, quote, commitment to refresh these price suggestions on a much more regular cadence so that we're keeping pace with economic changes over time. Now, the first of those refreshes has gone live. And if developers choose to update their prices according to the new recommendations, it's not an automatic process. The game would get more expensive pretty much everywhere outside the US. Recommended prices in euros are going up by 18%, for example, and Chinese, yuan? Recommendations are increasing by 21%. God. Global economics are complicated, and Valve's pricing recommendations are not based purely on exchange rates, which do not always account for the buying power of a region's ordinary citizens. Under the new recommendations, a $60 USD game would cost around $30 in Brazil. That's a 32% increase from the previous recommendation, but it might seem quite cheap until you realize that the average Brazilian salary is a fraction of the average US salary. Changes are much more remarkable in regions that are going through economic upheaval. Donnie, what's up, bro? What's up, dude? Argentine is it the peso recommendations for a $60 game have gone up from $650 to $3,800, a 485% increase. Over the past few years, Argentina has suffered some of the worst inflation rates in the world, and even after a nearly 500% increase, the recommended price would still translate to around $24 US. How are you, buddy? Response to the pricing changes from players has been mixed. Some are naturally unhappy that prices are increasing at all, though a thread in an Argentine game subreddit is filled with players relieved that fears that the new recommended prices would be even higher. Still, there's talk of abandoning Steam in all this, and at least one meme saying, "Ciao Steam, hola Game Pass." The other issue in all this that players in more affluent regions are more than willing to use VPNs to purchase games at a discount from regions with favorable pricing. Yeah, a few weeks ago, indie game Let's Build a Zoo made waves when Mike Rose of publisher No More Robots realized the game's inexpensive pricing in Argentina had a series of bizarre effects on its worldwide fortunes. Regional pricing abuse also led to volatile pre-order campaigns for games like Horizon Zero Dawn on PC. The folks at Steam Database have put together a big list of what all the new prices look like. It remains to be seen how many publishers will take Valve's new recommendations, but if you've been eyeing a purchase on Steam, you might want to make it soon. Of course, it's equally likely that big publishers like EA will continue to ignore the regional pricing recommendations and keep games like Need for Speed Unbound out of reach for less affluent regions. Yeah. Wild. That's kind of nuts. Working and lurking. Yo, sick, dude. It's good to see you, buddy. I appreciate the lurk. I hope work's going okay. Okay. Well, that's wild. So I don't know, man. If you're in one of these regions where prices are increasing, as this article stated, there's some wild stuff going on with VPNs. And, you know, yeah. Look, I mean, here's my thing. You guys know how I feel. I'm all about supporting developers, right? I'm all about supporting developers, but there's an issue in the gaming industry with monetization. And there's definitely an appropriate amount of money that should be spent on games that are very well done, and especially supporting indie developers and things like that. But there's also a big problem with greed and consumers and us as video gaming enthusiasts being taken advantage of quite often with having to pay full price for games, and then, you know, a month later DLC coming out and having to pay, you know, $40 again for more DLC when you know that stuff was already ready for the game in the first place, or, you know, in-game cash shops or whatever. And we can go on and on, you know, about what is deemed by most of us as the consumers, as lovers of video games, to be an okay thing in terms of, you know, spending money on, and what seems to be something incorporated by these developers of us being taken advantage of in that realm, you know. And so and all of us have you know, some differing views, but I think a lot of us can also relate to a great extent on what is and isn't okay, right? That's what I got, guys. That's what I got for the gaming news. We're going to move into Cultic Day 2. Yeah? And this should be our finale for Cultic. Again, shout out to Tinwin for the gift of the game. It's very cool so far. We're having a good time. If you're not familiar with what the game is, I'm going to throw in a command right here. That should show you what Cultic is. We're talking about a horror-themed kind of retro take on a modern FPS, right? So it's pretty cool. If you recall old school, you know, FPS games like Wolfenstein or Doom, you know, you'll see the resemblance in the visuals and stuff, but it's a modern take on those kinds of games. You've got sprinting and sliding and numerous weapons, and you can headshot in it, and there's just a lot of really cool things that have done to make the game obviously a modern take on those retro style games that people love so much, and it's a really fun time. This is chapter 1, as you'll be able to see when we start up the game. It says literally Cultic chapter 1, and it's $10. Wait, what? What? Pinky, what's up, brother? I don't even know where that's coming from, dude. Anyways, I might just be being 3-head right now. Oh, what the crap? Yeah, I didn't even see that. What the crap is that, dude? Dude, what is that? Oh, that's funny. I just noticed it, dude. Usually it comes up with the game because I don't have the game. Hold on, watch. It'll change. It'll change. It's because of this. It's because of this. It's because the actual category is not changed yet. That's why. There. Do that real quick. Now let me see if it works right. I didn't even notice, dude. Good call. I didn't even notice, bro. That's funny, man. Now see if it does it right. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Okay, so that first link was trash, dude. Yeah, that first link was trash. Hold on. Good call, brother. Good call. So that's gonna be a dead link for that first one, but there's the cultic. Yeah, there we go. Jeez, nice, dude. Yeah. So, it is a cool game. We'll get it. We'll get the second, or we'll finish it up today. But they're coming out. This is a single developer, by the way, as well. We love our indie devs, and a single developer, and it's a very cool game. It's pretty neat, and they're coming out with Chapter 2. So that's what it's looking like they're doing. They're going to continue to develop this game and come out with chapters, this kind of DLC stuff, right? So we'll finish up Chapter 1 today, and we'll, kind of anticipate whenever, or keep our eyes open for whenever Chapter 2 hits, and hopefully be able to take that on whenever it happens, or releases at some point in the future, okay? So we'll finish that up today. Then we're going to move on to our Outlast playthroughs to finish up Scaretober starting tomorrow. All right, so we'll get Outlast 1 and 2 played through starting tomorrow. And if we run into November a little bit, that's okay, man. We love Scaretober, man. We love the horror games, and we had a few down days during the month that were unforeseen, and so we'll just make up for it by running into November a little bit if we need to. It's fine. It's fine. On that note, thank you guys for being a part of this amazing community, and big shout out to everybody that was part of this news segment especially. We're going to move on to our gaming stuff, but I'll go ahead and say that if anybody's viewing this on YouTube and you're enjoying the video gaming news segment, see what you can do about coming and hanging out with myself and the rest of these amazing individuals that are part of this community when we go live at 6 o'clock a.m. CST every single day, where we start off all of our streams with video gaming news before we jump into whatever gaming content we have slated for the rest of the day, okay? Other than that, everybody just stay healthy, stay safe, be kind, and I will catch everybody tomorrow for October 27th edition of Video Gaming News and the beginning of Outlast. Go